Hi, thank you for listening to a bloody podcast. It's always so fun to be talking and then be like, all right, and hello. Thank you for
Hello. Life
we're
is shit, but hello.
yeah. What is the meaning of anything anymore? But thank you for listening. We appreciate it. I am joined by my co-host, Maria Felix,
Hello.
who has gone approximately 72 hours without electricity. So,
That was if it would have been that much, I probably would have left to somebody else's house. It was more like 40 hours.
oh, only 40. Okay. That's
Only 40.
oof. I freak out when it's like an hour. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? So-
Yeah, it was it there was not much to do. I have to say, we spent a lot of the neighbors and us spent a lot of time in our cars because those have electricity as long as they have gas.
yes.
And there wasn't so much finding stuff to do because I can read, I can do certain things. It was the heat. So, like, I couldn't even work on anything without just being distracted by the immense 114-degree heat
Oof.
that was happening.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
My girlfriend was, she lost power and she runs hot. She heats up real quick. And so she was like, within an hour and a half, she was like, I'm going to my mom's. She just was over it. So,
yeah, we thought about it for probably majority of the time. We just sat there and debated if we should stay or if we should go either to one of our mom's place or to a hotel. And then like everything came with its own set of problems. And so eventually
yeah.
we were like, it will be more relaxed here than with our parents. Even if there's no AC and no TV, it'll be way more relaxing than having to deal with whatever it is that they'll inevitably make us do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happened with my girlfriend because Star gets to her mom's house and she's like, and my parents, like, immediately as soon as I got there, they were like, oh, you want to go to Target? Like, no, I
No,
don't.
I don't want to go to Target. I want to sit here in the AC and
Yes.
pretend I'm at home.
Yeah. And then she's just like, they're so loud. She said that her mom was in the living room listening to Christian music twice. She was listening on her TV and then on her computer. She was listening to Christian music. So two different versions of Christian music and then her stepfather was in the back playing Christian music on his piano. Just like it's
Oh
too
my
much.
god.
There's too
It's a
much
lot.
going on. So, yeah, it's a lot. So, anyways, well, I'm glad that you're alive and you have electricity now, so that's good.
Yes, praise Jesus. Praise him.
Well, today we're going to be covering a case that is pretty current, pretty recent in the news. So, I just thought that this was an interesting case and it's one of those cases where even though there's information given, I still feel like we're going to be doing another follow-up episode later on, but it's just something that I had wanted to look into for a while, and that is the murder of Arkansas Senator Linda Collins Smith by her aide and friend Rebecca Lynn O'Donnell. So
Oh,
on
Becky.
yes, yeah, Becky with the good hair murdered a senator. On June 4th, 2019, Butch Smith, along with his grandfather, Benny Collins, found his mother in the driveway lying face down, wrapped in an old comforter and shoved under a tarp. The victim was Linda Collins Smith, a Republican senator from Arkansas. She was stabbed multiple times. And on June 17th, so a quick turnaround, Rebecca Lynn O'Donnell, an employee and confidant of Linda's, was arrested and charged with her death. So,
Well,
yeah.
she was Republican. No,
Well,
no, no. You know what's funny is I never used to have a problem with Republicans. I've always been a Democrat, and up until probably the last 3 years, I've
Mhm.
never really had a problem. There's like, there's Democrats that are like Republicans are soulless, da da da. I don't really think so, or I didn't really think so. But I think now, if you declare yourself a Republican and say I am voting Republican no matter what, I just think you're a racist.
Yes.
It's like the word Republican and racist have just become intertwined for me. And
Yes,
I hope
which
I hope one day it's not like that anymore. But I can't help but feel that if you're voting Republican, you're just voting racist.
well, I completely agree with you. I was an independent for a very long time, and then I switched to Democrat because, and I think this last presidency had a lot to do with it. I think it was like, okay, the people who are just, it's one of those things where if you're not defiant, you're compliant. And I think
Yeah.
that one of the things that I will say frustrates me about Democrats, and that this is something that they've said, is that Republicans fall in line, Democrats fall in love. And I think that it's our one of our pluses and one of our minuses, to be honest, is that Democrats, I think a majority of Democrats have to see somebody and like everything about them. And I think with Republicans, they see somebody and they go, well, like a friend of my dad's, for example, who just came down, very Republican, hates Trump, but is saying she's voting for him in the next election because she's anti abortion. And the fact that she just will not budge on that one thing is to me just so crazy.
It makes her
So,
racist. Basically what
yes.
she's saying is that she's secretly a racist. She's like, I'm using this one thing to vote
Well,
Republican.
I see. I disagree. I am saying she's racist, but I disagree that I don't think she thinks she's secretly racist. I don't think she's like, I'm saying I'm anti-abortion, but really I'm anti-black people. I think she thinks that that's a noble thing. And that's the thing, is like nobody ever thinks they're the bad guy. They think that they're the good guy in the scenario, in every scenario. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
guess.
Republicans are going to look back on this, and it's going to be very embarrassing for them. But I will say this. I don't think any violence should go to anybody simply because of their political affiliation. I think that to me, if anything, it just makes them a martyr. You know, like it just makes them feel like they're justified because the other person is doing something. But even more so, and I think it's one of those things where it is kind of funny because I remember when she died, when she was found, and everybody kept saying it was because of gang violence, that gang members were coming and people were trying, and it's like, why would a gang member care about a senator in Arkansas? Like that just seems
Yeah.
so crazy to me. And if I'm not going to talk about her politics or her policies, because we could argue about some of her more, I feel like, outlandish policies, and but I don't want that to straight take away from her as a victim, because she is a victim. She was killed by somebody she trusted, and it was unfair. But I just think it's funny that in the beginning everybody was thinking that it was somehow like a gang member had killed her. And it's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, she was Republican before Trump ever came along. She
She
was
was.
already
Well,
playing the game.
what's funny is she was first a Democrat. So
And
she
then,
and then Linda Collins Smith grew up in rural Williford, Arkansas. Now, this is
mm,
all from her campaign, so, I don't know how much is to be believed, but she claims that she grew up very poor, living 10 miles down a gravel road in a home that didn't have running water until her teens.
well,
So,
that's rural Williford, Arkansas for
yeah,
you.
yeah.
We all know,
There
we
you
all know
go.
that old story.
That old chestnut. So, Collins served one term in the state house, originally elected as a Democrat in 2010. She switched parties and became a Republican in 2011, a year before the GOP won control of both chambers of the legislature. She was elected to the Senate in 2014 and was one of the most conservative lawmakers in the majority GOP chamber. She lived in Pocahontas, Arkansas, which I feel like there's never been a better way to explain the racism of Arkansas than
once again,
Pocahontas, Arkansas.
Yes, once again, I'm agreeing with you in that no violence should be brought against somebody for their ideologies on politics, at least not in this case. But so far, she became a Republican a year before the black man became president, right?
She in 2010. He was already president.
He was already okay, so that somehow makes it worse.
How does I don't think it was because of Obama.
Oh, well, you'd be surprised.
Okay.
And then she moves to Pocahontas, Arkansas. She's making some red flag moves, is all I'm saying. Like, she moved to Pocahontas, Arkansas. There was nothing racist about the word Willisford, whatever it was. That's all I'm going to say.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but Williford is actually short Arkansan for will it afford me the ability to be racist towards people. You know what's fun is I literally wanted to start this off by saying, we're not making fun of the victim. We're making fun of Arkansas.
Yes, that's very true. She was constrained by, the state lines.
Yes.
She could only do so much.
But yeah, if you guys want to look up her political affiliations, please do. They are interesting. But I'm not going to talk about any of her sort of deals or anything like that. So she married Philip Smith, a circuit court judge. They have 2 children and 3 grandchildren. She filed for divorce from Philip in 2017, and they had a bitter legal battle. Public divorce records obtained by the Post show that Colin Smith and her ex-husband were arguing over $28,000 in gold and silver coins stashed somewhere.
What?
Among
an
other
old
things.
School argument. That's definitely an Arkansas argument. It's like they have some gold coins buried somewhere in the backyard.
Yeah. She got my gold coins.
Where are they? I don't remember. But
I don't know. Well, they also, what's funny is they also co-owned a Days Inn, which they then split. But that was another battle that they had.
Oh, a franchise. I didn't know Days Inn was a franchise.
So some scandalous news with Philip is that his retirement was forced in December 2017 by the Arkansas Judicial Discipline and Disability Commission, which was investigating his improper use of court equipment during his divorce proceedings. According to a letter of reprimand, he agreed to step down from the bench and never again work as a judge.
So he was using his gavel for home repairs.
Yes. He slept in his robe.
Yes.
And he cut a hole in the crotch area so he could have sex in it too.
Yeah, and just pee a lot faster.
Yeah.
That way he only had to give like 2-minute recesses in court instead of at least 10. Oh,
that is so smart. You cut a hole, you stick your penis through the hole, and then you just literally just walk around, and then you go and you just, when you have to pee, you don't even have to take your penis out of your pants.
No, because if you're if you're wearing a robe, it's like a whole to do. It's like when you wear a dress, like a poofy dress, and you have to go to the bathroom, someone has to come and help you. I imagine it's the same for every judge in America and Canada.
I think you would have to put another robe on over the other, so your penis wasn't just flying around for everybody to see. So you could just lift up your one robe, and then you'd have the penis through the hole in the other robe, and then you just go pee, and then you just live life.
Here's what you do: you get a zip up robe to put over your dick hole robe. And that way, it's faster. Because if you just got another pullover robe, then it becomes the same problem.
But wouldn't you just lift it up and then you just have your penis free, and then
Well, no, because you still have to hold your penis and you have to hold the robe, and that's where
Oh.
the problems come in.
See, I'm not even thinking about I'm just thinking that men don't hold their penis. I'm just thinking about just letting it sort of letting it sort of go. I forgot about men having to hold their penis. Why is it that every aspect of anything is men have to hold their penises? That's I don't like that.
That's their whole life.
Yeah.
That's what they do.
Oh. So anyway, so that's who Linda Collins Smith. That's the information we know about her. A close friend of hers was Rebecca Lynn O'Donnell, who worked with her on her unsuccessful re-election campaign in 2018 and was a witness in her divorce proceedings.
Wow, she was a really good friend at the time.
Yeah, they were close friends and were often seen together in photographs on social media.
Did
So,
they always have like bitchy faces, like bitchy looks on their face?
yeah, they had duck faces. Um, I remember when first saw this, I thought I was sort of hoping, and I mean, I know it sounds terrible, but I was hoping it was like a lesbian tryst. It's like, oh, wouldn't that be juicy if it was like a lesbian relationship? But I couldn't find anything. So
Maybe it was. We'll see. We'll find out.
we'll find we will find out. Even though I just told you it wasn't.
Well, I mean, not yet, because like you said, it's still current story.
Well, we'll get to that, but I have a feeling it's going to be a while before we find any other information out. Collins Smith's son and grandfather went to the house to look for her on June 4th because she had not been seen by or heard by anyone since May 28th, 2019. So they find her body under this tarp wrapped in a blanket, and her body is so badly decomposed that they're not sure it's her. The son calls 911 and says, "I'm pretty sure this is my mom, but I can't tell because the body's so badly decomposed."
Oh no.
Yeah. So it took the crime lab a few days to identify the body as being Linda Collins Smith. Once the body was identified, they ruled it a death, and they also figured that the body had been moved from inside the house. So they got a search warrant to search the house, and also there were security cameras outside the house and inside the house. So they got a search warrant to look at the security cameras, and they found video of Rebecca O'Donnell removing the security cameras from the home. They also found a security footage. In one report I read, they also found security footage of Rebecca standing over Linda Collins with a knife. And that's how they were able to determine that she was stabbed, because in the beginning they thought maybe she had been shot. So they see her with a knife and they say, "Oh, she's stabbed."
So Becky removed the video cameras and didn't try to do anything about the footage.
No.
Footage itself.
No, just remove the cameras after the fact.
After the fact, with her face clearly in the frame.
Yes.
She's like, that'll get rid of all the evidence. I just have to get rid of the cameras.
There also video footage of her buying bleach at a local store. So they're like, well, why does she need bleach? It's like,
yeah, clearly she doesn't do her own laundry.
Yeah. So authorities arrest O'Donnell during a traffic stop while she's on her way to Collins' memorial service. So O'Donnell claimed that the ex-husband had set her up for killing his ex-wife. She said that he was the one who told her to remove the cameras, and that he planted stuff in her trunk. That's what she said. She also claims that when she went over to her house, she had made chicken cutlets. And that's why she was holding a knife, and that's why the knife was bloody, which I've bought a lot of chicken from grocery stores. I've never cut into a chicken and had it bleed so profusely all over me.
Oh, you just you don't you don't get freshly slaughtered chicken?
No, no.
It doesn't
I,
even come with the head cut off yet.
I've stopped. I've
You do
stopped
that
going to
yourself.
that. I've stopped going to that freshly slaughtered chicken farm because I just didn't
Oh.
think it was sanitary. So
It's so specific about making chicken cutlets. And you know what I thought of first was a chicken cutlet sandwich from New York. Like it's like a thing in like bodegas in New York. And
oh,
then
really?
if yeah, it's really good. It's like it's basically like a fried chicken sandwich, but the way that they arrange it over there is just like it's delicious. And it's something about the bread. But beyond that, I would say that if she did make a pretty good chicken, like if I was a cop on the case and she made me a chicken cutlet sandwich and it you know, it passed the test, I wouldn't consider her a suspect anymore. I
You would
get it.
go, okay, make me a sandwich.
Yes.
And then if she made it to your satisfaction, you go, not guilty. All right,
Mhm.
let's keep looking, everybody.
She can't be the culprit, not if she knows how to make a chicken cutlet sandwich.
That's gonna be your your litmus test for every killer.
Yes.
John Wayne Gacy. I don't think he did it. He made me a chicken cutlet sandwich that was delicious.
Yeah. I feel like Gacy might make a good chicken cutlet sandwich. I feel like Dahmer would make a really bad one.
Oh, well, yeah, I would not eat
Yeah, that's true.
anything Dr. gave me. I don't care if it's popcorn. I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't. I'd be like, what'd you use for butter? Like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
I feel like Aileen Wuornos would stick a cigarette butt in it, so she wouldn't know what she's
She
doing.
would take. You'd be like, make me a chicken cutlet sandwich. She'd be like, give me $25, and you'd give her $25, and she'd go, all right, I'm not doing it. You're the devil.
I'd be so pissed if she charged 25. That's more than she charged for sex.
Yes, well, again, as I've stated many times, she was a horrible hooker or prostitute or sex worker. I feel comfortable calling her a hooker because she was terrible at it. But she was an awful sex worker.
Just didn't have a savvy business mind.
No, shocking. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think it would be. Why are you going to business school? I want to sell my body on the freeway, and I need to learn the market value. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. Learn the value of her assets.
Yeah, that's all. We all need to take a little business classes. All right. So now we get to the reason, and we'll find out in a little bit, but there isn't really a specific reason. Like O'Donnell hasn't come forward and said this is why I killed her. She did. We'll find out. She did plead guilty, but she has never given an explanation. Her son believes that O'Donnell was stealing money from Collins, and when Linda confronted her about it, she snapped and stabbed my mother to death in a fit of rage and perceived self-perseverance so that she wouldn't go to jail.
Really?
Yeah, it seems like the court also agrees with that because in April 2020, Judge Fogelman signed a search warrant to allow investigators to look through a 2011 Ford Focus belonging to O'Donnell's mother. Another search warrant allowed authorities to search computers and storage drives Collins owned and the Rock and Roll Highway 67 Inn, Zenith Hospitality Corporation. Other
Is that
search
the
warrants.
Days Inn?
I just wanted to say a Days Inn, but maybe it's the Rock and Roll Highway 67 Inn.
I'm sure that there's probably a law where you could like have a sub name, like a doing business as or something.
Oh, that's
And then
true.
it's like maybe it was named that and then they like bought a Days Inn franchise and then turned it into that.
It seems
I don't,
like
or maybe she's always had like a motel hotel dream.
oh, wouldn't that be funny? It seems like her ex-husband was that, and that they couldn't figure out He wanted to name it the Highway 67 Inn, and she wanted to name it the Rock and Roll Inn. And they were just like, all right, let's
So they
let's
settled
combine the
on
names.
Days Inn.
No.
What if
Yeah.
it's not a Days Inn as in DAYS, like the actual chain, but it's DAZE.
Oh, I was thinking you were going to say like DAEZ, days.
Oh yeah.
So on other search warrants were for Linda Collins Smith's Google account, including her email and list of her logins from May 25th, 2019 through June 4th, 2019. O'Donnell's fiance, Tim Loggains, has stated publicly that he doesn't think that. Oh, first, he doesn't believe O'Donnell did it, and secondly, he doesn't think that that Becky stole money because he said that he was public. Collins had granted him power of attorney after her divorce, which makes no sense whatsoever. That this senator grants her friend and coworker's fiance as power of attorney.
Was there any proof of that, or he just said it?
He just said it. I haven't found any proof, but that's one of the reasons why he's saying that that she couldn't be guilty of it. Now, the reason why there's not a lot of speculation and there's not a lot of evidence shown in the case is that several judges recused themselves from this case. They think it's because the ex-husband was a circuit court judge. And so I don't, for some either loyalty or maybe they thought that they would be too biased, that they had several judges. The first judge, Judge Harold Irwin, he recused himself, didn't give a reason, but also sealed all the records, thus preventing information on the investigation from being released. Second judge was a retired circuit judge named David Goodson. He was appointed to the case, but then requested the Arkansas Supreme Court to end his assignment. The second another judge was Second Judicial Circuit Judge John Fogelman. He's the final judge to oversee the hearings, and he's presided on the case since November 2019. So,
is it because the defendant was still trying to say that he was basically hiring her as a hitman? Or did she stop sticking to that story?
She had said that. See, I have different reports where she said that while she was in prison. So she didn't say that like right away. She said that while she was in prison. Because I'm gonna get to this, but she does a bunch of other stuff behind bars. So she's actually, when she was arrested and charged, she actually behind bars was trying to convince several inmates to help kill basically all of Linda's family and then some coworkers that she worked with.
What?
Yeah. So, okay. So an unnamed woman, that's what was confusing me. An unnamed woman came forward and said Rebecca O'Donnell wanted Colin Smith's husband, ex-wife, and 3 others, including a judge and a prosecutor, killed from behind bars. She told the woman that she wanted to have them pack the ex-husband's new wife, Mary Smith's belongings in a bag so it would look like she was in the process of leaving her husband. They were to either shoot or hang Phil Smith to make the situation look like a murder-suicide. Then there was a second inmate named Cassandra Freon, where she had turned over several handwritten notes from O'Donnell, including a suicide note O'Donnell allegedly gave her November 5th, where she had written out the suicide note that she wanted planted by Philip Smith's body.
Wait. Philip Smith is the senator's ex-husband.
The senator's ex-husband, yeah. So O'Donnell wanted the ex-senator's ex-husband and his new wife murdered and to have it be made look like a murder-suicide.
In addition, and this is all after she had already been in prison for killing the
This
senator.
is yeah, this is while she was awaiting trial, but after she had been in prison she was awaiting trial for killing the senator.
That's crazy. This sounds like there's some like one of those like dark, deep secrets between those two
Yes.
families that they're just not talking about.
Yeah, that's what I think is so well, that's what I think is so weird about the judges recusing themselves. And then also
Yes,
that one
yes,
judge who not only recused himself but sealed all the court records. Like what
yes.
was so what did you need to hide, you know?
What scandal do you have in Arkansas?
Yes. Uh so there's also video footage from the prison of O'Donnell handing this letter, the suicide note, to a prison guard. So, because they were like, if O'Donnell tries to deny it, she could say like, "Oh, I didn't write it," and then they could be like, "Oh, we have this footage," you know.
Well,
So
she could be to be fair, she could be handing him any letter.
that's true. Just like, "Hey, what's up? My name's Becky."
No, like here's a letter I need sent to my mom. I think
Oh,
you have to hand it to security officers anytime you write a letter of any
well, she
sort.
handed it to a prison guard.
Well,
She
that's
was
what I
handing,
mean.
yeah.
I don't
Or not
think.
a prison guard, she a prisoner, another prisoner.
Oh, because you said handing the letter to a prison guard.
Oh yeah, sorry. I meant prisoner. She handed a letter to a prisoner because she wanted that prisoner to pass it on to whoever was going to kill the ex-husband and and his new wife.
That could have been anything too. That could have been porn. They can't get porn in prison. They draw their own porn.
Oh, okay. So you're saying in your scenario, Becky O'Donnell is now drawing porn for the female inmates at this and handing them out.
I'm sure that if you find different talents in
Okay.
prison,
Mhm.
okay? And if
Yeah.
you are one to be good at drawing the female body or even the male body, if you're good at it, I'm sure you learn that. Look at Aileen Wuornos once again. She was not much of an artist when she was hooking, but when she got to jail, she drew plenty of pictures
Yes.
and she was really good at it. Richard
John Wayne
Ramirez,
Gacy, he
see,
painted a bunch. Yeah.
he painted a bunch.
That'd be funny if, you know, being in prison has really helped me tap into my newfound talent of just drawing very lifelike genitalia of vaginas and penises.
Very Georgia O'Keeffe esque
Yes.
pieces have been made. I mean, honestly, there probably is just like a few Van Goghs in prison that will go forever unknown.
Just being circulated. Just like,
Yeah.
I love what you did with the pubic hair. You really got my likeness. She's just drawing other women's vaginas for them. Here you go.
Everybody deserves a portrait of themselves.
Unfortunate. That's what she's doing. I want to show the beauty within
You never
the
know.
vagina.
That'd be so uncomfortable to sit to pose for like a spread eagle picture, like a
Oh,
painting.
the other day, so I rarely do this, okay? But sometimes when I get out of the shower, I'll have a wild hair at my butt and I'll be like, I just want to lay on my bed naked, okay? I rarely do it
Oh, I love
because
doing that. It's
there's
fresh.
there's never I rarely have I rarely have a moment where I'm clean and the bed is clean, you know, but I had just washed the sheets the other day and I just, you know, so I was like, I can do it. So I lay on the bed and I was like, I'm just going to air out my vagina. So I lift my leg up. Oh my God. I pulled something in my back. I was like, how do straight women do this all the time? Like,
Well,
I was just like, I did this for 10 seconds and I was over it. I was like, I don't want to have anything to do with this.
what position were you in exactly? Were you just
I was sideways, but I like lifted my leg up and I was holding it and I was like, there's no way in hell. I don't even think now I'm gay by I don't think I'm gay by I don't think it's a choice. I just think it's necessity. Like I just feel like now
your
I'm just
muscles
gay.
have formed to being gay?
I'm just gay by sheer laziness because I'm like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to lift my legs.
What did you call them? Street women?
Yeah, straight women.
Oh, straight. I thought you said
Oh,
street. I was
street
like,
women.
what do you
Oh.
think? Why do you think like prostitutes only do this position?
Oh, yeah, like prostitutes are like, wait, let me get on the ground and lift my legs up. Hold on. So, O'Donnell also asked women to travel to the Randolph County Sheriff's Office where her car is impounded and blow it up to destroy any evidence that may be in the vehicle. A third inmate, Rebecca Landrum, also came forward and told investigators that O'Donnell approached her several times about killing Phil Smith, but also prosecutor Henry Boyce and Circuit Judge Harold Irwin. Both were previously involved in a case against O'Donnell. Inmate Melissa Duede told authorities she not only heard the solicitation of Landrum, but that O'Donnell also asked her to get her boyfriend to kill Smith and Boyce. She also overheard O'Donnell ask Landrum if she knew some Mexican people willing to kill Smith. Landrum stated, yeah, I could see about it. O'Donnell then gave Landrum a list of names and the personal information of those she wanted dead.
It's the best answer to give whenever somebody asks you to do something shady. It's like, yeah, let me look into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And then just slowly back away.
Yeah. I just love that. I love that so much. It's like me being an asshole, I would have been like, what, white people can't kill? You killed somebody. Hire a white person maybe, or a black person. Why can't black people kill people?
Yeah, why is it the Mexicans? Specifically the Mexicans, too.
Yeah,
like
I would just...
I mean, it's just that maybe she obviously had a predilection for stabbing. So
yeah,
maybe she associated that with them.
So
she was originally... she was asking. Sorry,
no.
The person she was asking was not Mexican, right? Or were they?
No, she was. Yeah.
She was.
This is Arkansas. I have a feeling that most of the inmates in that jail cell were Mexican. So I have a feeling that, yeah, she probably was like, hey, do you know anybody? She was originally supposed to be charged with the death penalty, but because she was going to be charged with capital murder, but the prosecution then gave her a plea deal, which she took and agreed to plead guilty to killing. So she confessed that she did kill her, but all she did was she said, I stabbed her until she was dead. She never said like why she did it or anything like that.
So interesting.
She was sentenced to 40 years on the charge of the first murder and 3 years on the charge of abusing a corpse, and then 7 years for the 2 Jackson County charges of solicitation to commit capital murder. And so those 2 charges will run concurrently, but will be added to the Randolph County sentence of 43 years, so it'll be a total of 50 years that she'll be in prison.
Why was she charged with abusing a corpse? I thought the video only showed her standing over the corpse.
Anytime I'm assuming I was wondering that too, and I didn't find anything specifically, but I looked up abusing a corpse. Anytime you move or adjust the body in a way, they can charge you with abusing a corpse.
Oh. Yeah, it's weird. And this story is also like, even though it's in the news, it was in the news and everything, it's still not like as big as you think it would be for a senator dying. And it's kind of like they covered it up a little. Not covered it up, but they definitely tried to keep it more quiet than normal. So bizarre.
Yeah.
I want to know what it is that happened. Like, she wouldn't just kill her. It was her best friend. And, you know, somebody who she believed like should be in this position of power, it seems.
Yeah, it's really weird. And also it's like, why did the judge steal the records? Why were so many judges recusing themselves? You know?
That's shady as hell. The guy, the ex-husband, definitely has something to do with it.
Oh, I firmly believe. I think that the ex-husband and his new wife and his the friend Becky and her fiance probably all have something to do with it. Um, but yeah, and I will say that I think it might have something to do with this motel because they were well the motel or the coins because those were the two biggest contentions in the divorce. And
Right.
so they were and it's only like the weird thing is it was only $28,000 worth in gold coins, which I mean, look, if I got $28,000, I'd be ecstatic. But it's not that much to kill over,
It's
you
not
know?
enough,
So
especially not for a senator or a judge to be fighting over.
yeah, so there's got to be more to that than yeah, and also I think it's because when it first came out, what I thought was interesting was that there was so much speculation as to what it was, and then when you find out that it was just her friend, everybody was like, "All right, well, it was just her friend. I guess we can move on."
Yeah, it's
Like
like,
it's just like
no,
no,
no, no. That makes it weirder.
that makes it so much weirder that it was her friend that she trusted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I find it so I'm interested to find out more, but I wanted to do this because I just thought that it was an interesting topic um, to kind of show like how I think sometimes like it, especially in my opinion, especially with like white people, a white on white crime, that's sort of like swept under the rug as like well it was just a thing with two friends, like it's like no this is the person who killed another person, like
Yeah.
we should be talking about this.
And then allegedly tried to have four other people killed.
For yeah, so many other people killed.
That
She had a whole list. She had
yeah.
like a shopping list of who she wanted to kill. What I would think would be funny is like it would be like if she was like, well, I guess I should put you know what? Let me just put in the wife. I'm just gonna
Yeah, just I never liked her. It's fine.
she always introduces herself to me and we've met like four times, so I'm just yeah, let's just put in I mean, I don't know that she had anything to do with it, but I just on the safe side.
Maybe she was treating it the way that you make an invite for a party. It's like that if you invite 50 people, then like 15 to 20 will come, So she's just playing, it's a numbers game.
Yeah. She's like, look, if they kill half of the people on this list, I'll be happy.
Yeah. That's crazy though. What are your theories? I think a few theories are possible. I think that maybe Philip and the senator and Becky were in a throuple and it went
Ooh, that
really
could be.
sour.
Yeah, that
Like
could be.
maybe they both promised her stuff and neither of them delivered and he got remarried and like she's like, I'm not going to give you anything. And
Yeah.
maybe she went mad from that. Maybe she's like, maybe one of the kids between the two is secretly hers.
Ooh.
Something like that.
And she found out?
And she found, or like, she wanted to tell the kid and they didn't want her to, and they were going to have her killed, and she killed one of them first.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's
So you saying that Becky's the mom of one of the kids and she wanted to say it,
yeah.
but they didn't want her to, so they were going to kill her, but she killed Linda before so she could protect herself by being in jail.
Yeah. Or
Mm.
they're all aliens. And the senator was about to do something really dumb to out everybody.
Yes.
And so she had to kill her. And the list is of other aliens.
I want to say that your last one is more plausible. No, I want to believe your last one so much. I legit, you know what I will say? The conspiracy theorist part of me is like, that checks so many boxes.
Yes.
That checks why they sealed the records.
Yes.
That checks that why there's been no reason. Why Rebecca hasn't been interviewed. Why hasn't, because usually when people kill or when they always want, like, she never mounted a defense. She immediately pled guilty. So she never was like, oh, Linda came after me and I defended myself or, whatever. She's just like, I stabbed her until she was dead. And So it's like, oh, maybe she was an alien.
Which is an
Maybe she can't.
alien. Yeah, it's an alien-like answer. Why did you kill her? I stabbed her till she was dead. And
Yes.
then it's also like alien logic to be like, I'm going to remove the cameras.
Yes.
Because obviously that's where the footage lies.
And I'm just gonna put them somewhere. And then also alien-like question to be like, you are Mexican. Do you know of other Mexicans who like to kill?
Yeah, it's like you are a Mexican who preferred to kill. Do you know of other Mexicans who also prefer to kill?
Who are not in jail?
Yeah, I am a Xenon and I prefer to kill, but the other Xenons do not prefer to kill.
They do not share my bloodlust. They will all know my power. Oh my God. I think we just came up with a conspiracy theory.
We solved it, man. That's why Becky's in jail.
She's in jail because she's an alien.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's it. I guess we don't need to do a follow-up because I think we answered it.
No, but seriously, it'll be interesting to find out. Eventually, hopefully, one of them will like write a memoir like 5-10 years from now or something.
Oh yeah, I could see the fiance of Becky writing a memoir, writing a tell-all.
Oh right, she had a fiance.
Yeah, she had a fiance.
Oh, what's he doing now? We should look him up on Facebook.
His name is Tim Loggains. Let me see if I can search his name.
Kenny Loggins.
Yeah, Kenny Loggins. He's just really upset with her because he told her over and over again, know when to hold him, know when to fold him.
Yeah.
Know when to walk away.
Yeah. And he told her to stay out of the danger zone.
I am the danger zone. So it's Tim, Tim, in case you didn't know. Loggains. Oh, he was on Good Morning America. All right, well.
Aliens.
Yeah, it's aliens. All right, well, if you guys are listening to this and it's Wednesday, September 9th, please check out our Twitch show on the Pack Theater Twitch. That's www.twitch.com/packtheater.
You're the only person that says www still.
Well, I've been told that they have to put in the whole thing. That's why I say it. And I learned that from www.gmail.com where I have my emails. So check us out at 8 p.m. And we have a very funny comedian named Jolene Lunzer on, and we're going to play a fun game. And yeah, that's going to be a fun show. And please follow us on Instagram at Bloody Podcast. And please check out our Patreon, patreon.com/bloodypodcast. And if you liked this episode, if you could rate and review us or just share this with your friends, we'd really appreciate it.
Yeah. You said it all.
Yay, I did it right.
Yay. Thank you guys for listening. Have a good night.
I did it right. Oh shit. Oh no.
Don't forget to turn off the camera.